Welcome to Freedom News Network. We're bringing you true news once again. Politics today. Trump admin puts a stop to Obama's federal directive to state schools to allow children to select the bathroom which best corresponds with their perceived gender identity. The letter sent by President Obama to schools demanding that children identify their own gender identity and select the bathroom based on this perception rather than their legal gender. In a statement released today by the Australian Conservative Party, Cory Bernardi has a say on the matter. In the last year, it was often said that Kennedy put a man on the moon, Obama put a man in the girls' bathroom. Today, the Trump administration reversed Obama's federal directive. This is good news on a number of fronts. It rolls back the experimentation and radical indoctrination of children in schools, and it restores the state-federal balance. Australia needs a shake-up like this on safe schools also. Let states, indeed school families and communities, decide whether radical teaching is pushed on the kids in their schools. When parents are not even asked for prior consent to know a radical agenda is being pushed. Now, what do you think about this? Is this a valid point? Should we have a say in what the school curriculum is teaching our children? If it is in fact, well, it does, carry such importance. I mean, this is the gender identity of children. This is a very, very important issue. Should we be able to discuss this issue in society openly and honestly in an open forum without being ridiculed and labelled as hateful, as homophobic or transphobic, simply for asking the question whether this radical agenda is healthy and helpful for our young developing minds? Sean Spicer today, the press secretary for Donald Trump and for the White House, says that the president maintains that this is a states' rights issue. And this is in fact merely restoring the balance of power between the federal and state government, saying that states have a right to mandate this or not, and it is not an issue for the federal government. If it is, it's as Cory Bernardi suggests, as he has said on many occasions, that Safe Schools is not an anti-bullying campaign, but it is in fact a social engineering and radical indoctrination program aimed at training our children to be political activists, then surely it would be irresponsible of us not to question its place in the classroom amongst young developing minds, especially since a number of the key designers and architects of this controversial social engineering program have been removed, and the La Trobe University constituents being removed from this program due to their communist antics and their often bully tactics employed. Certainly something we should be asking the question about. In other news, we've had a leak come out thanks to Wikileaks, another leak, showing emails where Senator John McCain is asking for political contributions to his 2008 presidential election bid. He's been caught sending emails to Russians asking for these financial contributions. And funny enough, one of the Russians who Senator John McCain contacted in 2008 requesting political donations for his run for presidency was none other than Vitaly Churkin. Now, Vitaly Churkin is the Russian ambassador to the UN who died suddenly this week in the New York UN headquarters of a suspected heart attack. Now, the cause of his death is still unconfirmed. and there has been questions as to whether his death is being treated as suspicious, with some coming out claiming that his death is in fact suspicious, such as CBS News. So it is very interesting. He did die suddenly. He certainly led a very controversial political career, and in a leak that has since come out just a couple of days after his sudden and unsuspected passing, there is a leak implicating John McCain in requesting political donations from the very same guy. Also, heightened suspicion at the moment, since a number of Russian leaders have recently been assassinated, or arguably attempted assassinations on their lives. And in this time of heightened alert and certain issues, we'll call them, between the US and Russia at the moment, due to a number of unsubstantiated allegations of hacking and influencing the outcome of the US election, we have to question whether or not this attack, or this sudden passing, or this possible murder could possibly be linked to his career as a politician or as a ambassador for the UN. Now, in a statement posted on the 20th of October in 2008 by Russian leaders in the permanent mission of the Russian Federation to the UN, released a statement on the fundraising request letter received from John McCain requesting these contributions, in which they say that they would like to remind all involved that they do not finance political campaigns in foreign countries. Now, this is very interesting because, of course, all the recent rhetoric implying that Donald Trump may be secretly working with the Russians and that he may be receiving political contributions from the Russians. And here we have one of Donald Trump's harshest critics, John McCain, requesting political donations from the Russians in his attempt to be the President of the United States. So, very interesting times. I'd like to remind you all that it's very important that we think critically and that we critically analyse our belief systems and our thoughts constantly. It was said by a great mind, Trey Smith, that the greatest barrier to all wisdom, the stronghold against knowledge itself, is the single thought in one's mind that we already have it all figured out. And I'd like to encourage you to think critically when it comes to matters of politics. I'd like to encourage you to think critically when it comes to matters of philosophy. And I'd like you to be able to discuss your opinions freely and speak freely in a society that promotes free speech, as Australia should. So keep speaking the truth, keep standing up for what you believe is right. Don't forget to share, like, comment, etc. Don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell so that you're notified whenever we make a new video. And God bless you and good night.